Maybe just here and there, just a little more dark. I don't know. It looks good as it is. Really, I'm happy with it. I should not be messing with it. Stop it. Stop messing with it. Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today we're going to do a beautiful little painting in acrylic. One with maybe a small stream in the foreground, some rocks, and we're really going to focus on the sunlight. It should be a lot of fun. If you're looking forward to seeing this and you'd like to see more, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more painting videos. Alright, let's get started. So I've already got our canvas covered with just a charcoal blue. It's dried already. We're painting in acrylic today. I've got my water bottle right here so I can mist my paints so they don't dry out. Actually, let me do a quick mist on the canvas. It might help a little. I've also got our foundation medium here in a bottle. It's very runny, so I don't put it on the palette. Otherwise, it just ends up on my feet. All right, now, right up here, I want to create just a simple blue sky. While I'm doing this, before I forget, I want to show you guys the paintings that you sent me from the video last week. Now remember, if you'd like to have your painting featured in an upcoming video, tag me, do this painting that I'm doing here today. Tag me in it, and then I'll do my best to get it in next week's video. I try to stay like 1 week ahead, so you guys paint what I did last week. All right, that looks pretty decent. Although, having said that, 1 week isn't necessarily a lot of time. You guys are really fast. Sometimes it takes a little trial and error to get these paintings right, doesn't it? All right, let me grab, it just doesn't really matter, just a number 6 flat synthetic brush is fine. This is still wet. You can either wait for this to dry or do it right now while it's wet, but you cannot do it while it's tacky. So I'm just going to place a few of these clouds in while it's wet. I'll let this dry and then I'll place more in once it's dry. But remember, walk away. When it's tacky, just walk away, because you'll have nothing but issues if you try to paint. Acrylics love to be painted while they're all wet, and they like to be painted when they're all dry, but they do not like to be painted when it's sort of half dry. It'll pull that paint right up. It'll be the worst thing you can imagine. So don't do it. There. That's pretty though. That's a good start. It's a very good start. Get a little color in here. We need a little color. Anybody else like color? Yes. Oh, we are getting weird already. This is going to be a good day. I can already tell. Just finishing up here with a little extra highlight. I walked away for a few moments, came back, it was dry, and then I just kind of dry brushed a little more highlight in this area. Not a lot. You can see it's just a little. Just a little. Of course, your custom tapered round is the best tool for the job when it comes to doing any kind of dry brush blending, in my opinion. It's the brush I always grab. It works so good. It's very interesting. It's hard to tell probably in the video, but once you get one in your hand, you'll see it's cut. Like the bristles are cut so that the idea is you use the side. It's really cool. All right, that looks good. Let's set this brush aside. Make sure you're always dipping them in water before you set them down on the table. I've got a dark green here. Don't ask me what's in it. I just slapped it together. No, it's actually, you can see what's in it. It's just all my dark colors, really. Who cares? Who cares? This is going to be fine. Because any dark color you stick up here is probably going to look just great. I'm going to place in just the feeling, honestly, of a few background trees, and that's it. Here's kind of our halfway line, just a little above half. Didn't really make a whole lot of difference. You can tell things like this just don't matter. Not in this particular painting. They do sometimes. Not here. Not here today. Now this is acrylic, it's water-based, and I don't mind getting my finger in here and getting a little messy. It just doesn't matter. I can rinse my finger off, and it'll be good. Just no big deal. I don't really do that too much with oil paint. Actually, I do every once in a while when I'm testing you to see if there's a lot of oil or whatever on the canvas. I'll sacrifice getting a dirty finger for you guys, but yeah, no. The acrylic's a little better for using your finger. That looks good right there. I think we can work with that. Yes, it is okay to be excited about your painting. Hey, if you're not excited, other people might not be either. You got to get excited about your paintings. It is absolutely okay to be happy with them. Okay, now, just to the right of center, I love this cloud. I don't want to mess it up. I'm going to go a little smaller than I planned. I'm going to make just a little tree here. I don't want to mess this up. I'm just going to do it quickly. Actually, this tree, well, you know what? It's fine. I'll paint it in this color, and I'll probably darken it here in a moment. There, it's fine to get it established, but it does need to be just a little darker so that it comes away from that background. All right, that looks really quite decent. So now I'm just sketching in some rocks. This is very important. It makes all the difference if you don't know exactly where you're going. This helps a lot. Let's face it, we rarely know exactly where we're going. There, that looks good. Yeah, I like this. The more we sketch, the better it's starting to shape up. Do we like that? I don't know. Do you guys like that? We may need to play around with that area a little. Okay, there we go. I'm talking like this is a live stream. No, nobody's gonna answer me. That's okay. Listen, you can be a little weird when you paint. It's okay. It's not gonna hurt anything. There we go. Probably just make your paintings worth more. All right, over here. A little bit of action up in there. Yes, mostly rocks. Wow, I hope you guys love painting rocks because we got some rocks to paint this week. Can't wait to see. Remember to tag me. Use the hashtag on the screen. I cannot wait to see your version of this painting next week. A little downward action there. Yes, a little cliff there. That's a spot to stand and look. Gotta have a spot to stand and look. That's pretty. And then over here, as if we don't have enough rocks. Oh, there it is. A big cliff. Planning to do this the whole time, but there it is. Fairly straight, actually, and then they're more cliff-like. That looks decent. I'm kind of sketching in something that's maybe a little too dark. I'm running out of paint, but I need to stop and reset the palette. Wanted to show you part of the sketching process. It's so important. I'm right in here, a boulder or two. Oh, that's nice. Just a few strokes. Remember, we're just blocking it in at this. We're not blocking it in. We're just mapping it out at this point, so you can make changes very simply. That's the point. Make sure you like it, and then we'll go ahead and fill all this in with just color. Now that we've got our basic sketch established, it's really simple to just drop in some dark. Put my palette down. I probably need that palette. There we go. That's really decent. Just kind of blocking in, using these bold geometric shapes. There we go. I think it really works. I think it's pretty. I think it adds a lot to the painting to do it this way. You could do it with a big brush, but it takes only a moment longer to do it with a smaller brush. And I'm building these variations in to my underpainting, trying to make it more interesting than just if it was one color. A little easier to highlight, a little easier to make it look better that way. Just a quick tip for you. No big deal. You can do it either way. You can block it in all one flat color and then pull your highlights out of that if you'd rather. Now I'm going to go ahead and place on a little highlight here to these larger rocks. Nothing too crazy. Just getting it started, It doesn't need to be too intense at this point. We can always brighten it up a little later. Almost a mid-tone when you really stop and think about it. Let's see here. See, I'm just going quick, choppy, small strokes. I think that gives a better look. Nice. There, that's pretty cool. You can play around with the different shapes. Definitely want to do something that's interesting. That's important. Yes, I think that works very much. I think that works really well. All right, let's see here. Okay, what do you think? Maybe a little stone right there. That could look good as well. Just placing in a lot of these mid-tones. Nothing too big yet. We'll be adding those super punchy, bright highlights soon, but I'd like to get a little more of the painting in. I'd love to see this waterfall river thing. I'd love to see that in sooner than later. Now I'm going to shift my attention up here to these little trees, just for sake of doing something a little different. You can see I spent not much longer, just a few moments here on these rocks. This is good. I think once they're wet right now, but once they're dry, I'd love to come in here with the microfilbert brush and really make that pretty. The other thing we need to do is put a lot of grass and whatnot down in those rocks. It's going to make all the difference in the world, and we should do that before we highlight, because here's why. If we highlight first, we're going to put the grass on and we're going to cover up half our highlight. What a waste of time. I'm not interested in that today. If I'm going to use up my time, it's going to be where it counts. How's that? I don't know why I'm rambling on about that, but there you go. Some days you just kind of get whatever, right? As far as what I ramble about. Hey, that looks pretty decent. That's really decent. It's not a big deal. This whole background area is not that big of a deal. Just stamp on a few little highlights. This is the number 4 natural brush, and it really does a great job of handling these acrylics. As you get it wet, as you use it, it kind of just gets better. It really does. It gets more and more crazy, you know, as you get it wet, and it's good. It's really nice because it creates those effects, just, you know, more crazy, more random. I love it. It works really, really well. So that's a bonus there. If you haven't already checked out the brush line, the acrylic brush line, definitely head to the website. We've got all sorts of acrylic brushes, paints, DVDs, anything you could need. Little tiny bit on top, not too crazy. You can kind of smooth this out just a little if you want to. That looks good. You can always go back with more dark, but there's a lot of dark in there. I don't know that we need to go too crazy. Maybe just here and there, just a little more dark. I don't know. It looks good as it is. Really, I'm happy with it. I should not be messing with it. Stop it. Stop messing with it. Yes. You know when to stop? It's when you're happy with it. Or when everything you're doing is not making it any better. That's when you know it's time to stop. Because at that point, it's probably as good as it's going to get. And that's based on your skill level, and also how, for oil painting, how muddy the canvas is. There. That looks good. But it is definitely, it's definitely okay to stop and say, you know what, that's as good as this painting is going to get, and then improve on the next one. You don't have to be 100% perfect, because you won't be, and that's okay. There's always something you're going to want to go back and tweak. You can go back and tweak it, but often I say it's probably better just to move on. Paint something else, and improve each painting. There. So I forgot to add some trees up here. I actually want them up here. Just forgot to add them. Oops. That's okay, we'll put them in right now. Nobody will ever notice. There we go. Yeah, that's it. Not a big deal. I mean, we could have left them out. I just frames painting in. It makes it nice. A little lighter at the top than they are at the bottom. And look at that. I said it in the right order. Isn't that a bonus? Wow, we're doing good today. See, that almost helps to push those rocks back a little. Almost, but not quite. Yeah, that's cool. All right, that works. I like that. Yeah, very pretty. Light source, of course, is coming across like this. We didn't mention it, but that's the way it's going. It looks good. A little shadow under here. Well, I got that dark color, maybe just a little shadow here. Get these trees kind of going in the right direction as far as that's concerned. I put a little trunk in there, as you can see. Mash that into the tree. Good, 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 good. I think we can work with that. Let's see there, cast shadow probably on this rock, so we'll just tone him down a little. Just go around kind of tweaking things just a little. Little grass here and there. I need some more yellow ochre, as you can see. I'm running out. That yellow ochre is so pretty. Kind of get me a little bit of a mid-tone grass in here. I do want a lot of those beautiful yellow ochre tones in this painting. So we'll definitely have to stop and get some more back out. So I stopped for just a moment, got a little more paint out. That's something you got to do when you're acrylic painting. It just dries on the palette, so there's really no reason to have a bunch out. Just too risky. You'll probably lose it. Oh, that would get expensive, and I don't want you guys to have to do that. So there you go. Let's just get some sort of a soft blue for highlight. It looks pretty decent. I'm always constantly misting those paints, trying to keep them from drying out. Makes things just a little easier when the paint is wet. Paint is awfully hard to use when it's dry on the palette. Am I right? Yes, that's pretty. See, by making that actually a little more wet, you almost get like a bunch of little miniature liner brushes, see, because this is all flared out. Now that is great when you're doing the waterfall. You don't want the whole thing to look like that though, or it ends up just looking weird. It's most important that you have most of this, that you have most of this soft and only a little bit of it harsh. Hope that makes sense. Now let's see, I kind of tweaked this around a little by accident, just when I was painting in my little rock areas. Nice, I think we can work with that. Very pretty, and yeah, it's not perfect, but that's okay. It gets the idea across. Our viewers can fill in the blanks. That's pretty. Oh, right over. Look at that, just a few touches of this brush A few strokes and away you go. Just doesn't require much. See that? And that's pretty much good. You know, you could highlight it more if you want to, but may not be necessary. It's up to you. You make it as bright as you want to. I'll probably brighten it just a little, but it won't be much. Now I've got my number 4 brush. I'm just going to quickly, this is a quick step here, we're not going to prolong this. Quickly lay down some color. You've seen me do this before in oils quite a lot. It works great in acrylic as well. Lay that color right on, and you get people to look at you really funny when you do this, and that makes it more fun. Oh, does it ever make it more fun? Yes. Here, get a little green, I don't know, this doesn't matter at this point. Just slap it on quick. Let me tell you, you are up against the clock when you do this. Can you imagine if all this just dried as it was? Ooh, not good, not good. Let's just do that section. So I'm gonna set this brush aside. We're acrylic painting, so it's easy to just grab another one, rinse it out. This is the synthetic one. If you had 2 of those bristle brushes going, which you should be, I'm not right now, but you should, makes it easier. Might go get one in a minute if, well, this is actually working out okay. There we go, cool. So you got your dark and you got your mid-tone and you got your highlight. Set that aside, rinse out my natural brush, not my synthetic, my natural brush. Start right up here and fluff this grass up to create all these beautiful textures that, oh wow. So here's the thing. It's already starting to set up. That was fast. I do have my air conditioner going. So I add a little more paint to the brush just to help it flow. Do 3-inch sections here at a time. No more than that. It's just too risky. It might set up and you'll get those hard lines. Yes, you can always paint over it, but you might have those hard lines show through even though you paint over it, depending on what the texture is doing. So it's better not to risk it. That's pretty though. That technique really works. The thicker you put it on, the better the result. Here's another example of doing this grass. It really works here because you have that dark against that light. It's so pretty. I think it really works. It's okay to get excited, you know. It is absolutely a fun technique to use, and so it's exciting. It's exciting when it works. It usually works. It's a pretty safe technique, although it doesn't look like it. It is. We've used these in art classes. I mean, we use them in beginner lessons. It's just no big deal. Almost always works out just fine. There. I had to throw the almost in just in case. Because let's face it, it's art and it just never comes out the same way twice. And that's nothing to be frustrated about. It happens and that's okay. It's not your fault sometimes when things don't work out. Don't take it too hard, you know. It's okay to be kind of invested in your paintings, but you don't want to take anything too seriously. There, it's just more fun if you relax, isn't it? Painting is for fun, for the most part. It's definitely depending on your circumstance though, right? Sometimes you gotta get something done for a client or something and pressure's on. Usually it's for fun. So now I'm gonna place a broken down old log here, right here on the shore. It should be cool. Adds a lot of character. I love it. And it's just stuck up here in the rocks, something like that. Very interesting. I think it adds a nice bit of character against the fairly soft background. Nothing too crazy background. I like it. I think it works. There we go. So you can do things like that. It doesn't have to be a tree. It's whatever you want to do, right? A tree is not necessarily the right thing to do, or it doesn't matter. It could be anything, a large rock or a large bush, something to add a little bit of character to your foreground. Cool, I think that's all we need right there. A broken top. Oh, perfect. All right. There we go. We can highlight that very, very, very easily with a little white and yellow ochre. You're misting your paints to keep them wet, right? All right. Just a little. The light's coming across like this, but some of it is definitely, because it's on its side, is definitely hitting the top there. And there, yeah, that looks about right. Very good. You can do that while it's wet, so you can blend this all in. That really makes it that much easier. Might as well do it. Now I'm going to use my little number 4 brush to drop in some bushes. This is really nice. It helps to push these rocks back, which definitely helps the painting, wouldn't you say? This does not really need to be perfect, I guess. Seems like it's going to be just fine, however it goes in. I'd say the only thing to watch for would be pretty much just symmetrical patterns and don't eat up all your darks. You know, it doesn't need to be too bright. Here's my paint. As it's really truly starting to dry out, we better get a little bit of our mister bottle going. There. Should buy us another minute or two. You can, yeah, let's do that. You can even flip up some grass. See, I like this very soft down here, very dark. You don't want everything doesn't have to be crazy. Yes. No, we don't need too much light. There we go. Looks good to me. What do you think? Maybe. Right here, what do you think? Maybe stick. Just a little bush over that. I don't know, just something to make it feel like it's been there a little while. Stuff's starting to take back over. Yes. It's gonna rot away one of these days. It's kind of cool. That makes it, to me, makes a difference. Just having that pushed into the painting a little. It's really not any big thing there. Yeah, a little stippling. I love this brush of these bushes down here. A little bit of that in there. Maybe a little touch more of my yellow ochre. Why yellow ochre? Because my cad yellow is dry. That is a really good reason. I'll go get some more. Don't worry. I know most people are laughing. Some people are actually freaking out about that. It's okay. I'll go get some more. I won't let that determine why I'm painting with a certain color. Now I've got my liner brush here, a little yellow ochre and our cad yellow. There it is. All right, got enough water in it, several brush loads, to thin it down just enough so that it flows. That's how you know you got it thin enough. You don't want it so thin that it just runs like crazy. Just flowing off the brush is more than enough. Here we go. Let's start right here. I'm going to add in a bunch of details. Now, something to be noted. This tree, in my original thought, this tree has leaves, but we've got a lot of trees with leaves. It's kind of cool to have a couple of dead trees. It goes with this area. I don't know. I thought it was cool. Whether or not we leave it, I have no idea. But you do, because you've seen the thumbnail. But either way, that's just that was my original thought. So at least you know. And I guess probably not going to mess with it. We'll see. That's why the reason I'm pointing it out right now is because I'm doing the liner brush now to see what the painting's going to look like. Do I like it? Do I want to change it? Do we need to add more? Do I feel like that we need this? I guess here's my thing. I really like the sky and that beautiful blue sky against all this beautiful green. It really works. I'm talking too much. I'm not painting enough. We can fix that. But anyway, I don't know. Just letting you in to my thoughts. I think that's kind of cool. So, be open to things just changing on the fly. That's okay. It's not okay to go in without a plan. Ooh, here we go. But it is okay to change the plan willy-nilly. It just doesn't matter. But you've got to have a plan. There you go. Nice, look at that. I think that works. And what that does also helps to push back this tree trunk. Makes a big, big impact. I love the liner brush. So much of the time, all the painting, you're looking at painting, I'm not so sure I like the way it's turning out. You ever been there? So much of the time, get the liner brush out and do some liner brush. Do a lot of liner brush work. And practice with it until you're comfortable using it, because it's one brush that can truly add so much to a painting. So much. Detail, sharpness, and whatnot. And look, you can do seed pods, grassy bits, and anything else that you want to do with this brush. So good. Makes a ginormous difference. Wow. Look at that. All sorts of different colors and shapes. Just all that detail in there. It's making this look realistic, and it's making me so happy. So happy. Yes. All right, well, I think we're done. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Don't forget to check out our website, DVDs, and brush line. Thanks for watching.